Hi, this is Alex at 4.5. Today we're gonna open with part 3 of our the art of the sale series, and the first part really talked about kind of getting the right set of mind and also structuring your sales process, understanding where you are within the steps. Part 2 covered discovery. That's a big part, and during discovery you find out what the real problems or pain points of your clients, of your prospects are. And then today we're going to talk about the presentation, how to present your company, and also how to close the deal or how to trial close the sale. So let's go ahead and get started. Your goal during the presentation stage of the sales process is to finally talk about your company and why you're the best fit for the prospect. Now, by now, you should have completed the discovery, you should have built that emotional bridge, and you should be very well aware of the particular pain points and issues your prospect experienced with their rental property. What you want to do at this stage is address every pain point that you revealed during the discovery process. One common mistake people make is during the presentation, you tend to kind of just really get excited about your own company and talk about all these wonderful things you do. That turns out to be a 30-minute monologue that it's not really specifically targeted to your prospect needs. You want to make sure you look at your notes and you talk specifically to the pain points of your prospect. So let me give you an example. When you do present your company's advantages, right? You're gonna basically put it together in kind of a 3 key principles. It really touches every landlord if you think about it, right? So, we operate on 3 basic principles. And number 1, it's our job to protect your asset, to protect your property. Number 2, we want to ensure that you get a steady revenue flow. And number 3, you want to make sure that communications are open so your experience with us is enhanced by our quick response. Those are kind of 3 things that most people care about. But instead of going into each of these subtopics, right? For example, if you're talking to prospects, you say, no, we have a thorough screening. We know how to screen tenants. Let me tell you about a screening process. We inspect properties. Let me tell you about an inspection process. We have the best technology. Let me talk to you about all of our apps and features. And we have best vendors, and let me tell you about that. You notice that will take, minutes and precious time, and the attention of your prospect might deviate just because you're covering a lot of stuff. What you want to do, you want to briefly go over the key elements within your kind of 1, 2, 3 key principles and dive right into the specifics. In other words, addressing the pain points. For example, if your prospect said, well, my last tenants destroyed our lawn. All right, they didn't water it. It got destroyed, and we ended up paying $4,000 to fix the lawn and landscaping. So during the presentation, once you know that, during the presentation part, you want to talk about protecting your asset. But instead of spending 20 minutes on tenant screening, you should spend the time on discussing regular inspections and tying it back to the pain point. For example, so what we do in iManage properties is we inspect your property quarterly. And every time we see a potential issue, we'll bring this up with the tenant, we'll bring this up with you. So what happened with your lawn in the previous management relationship wouldn't happen again. In fact, beyond the quarterly inspections, we do drive-by inspections every so often, and so on. You can essentially put their fear or put their pain point to rest by addressing it directly. And that's how you present. And if you are able to tie the specific value propositions to the pain points, that's important moment right there. Specific value propositions of your firm to the pain points of your customer, you will win the deal almost all the time. Now, once you have presented, you have to close with something tangible at the end, right? So my recommendation to end each phone call with a calendared meeting or calendared appointment, something that deserves a place on a calendar. For example, when you finish your presentation, you should be the one asking for the next step. Shall we set up a meeting at your property, to take a look at your backyard, or to take a look at your addition that you've built, or to evaluate what the house is going to rent for? Or if you don't meet at the property, you might ask them if you can email them a service agreement and schedule a review and ask them for a specific date and time. I always tell my salespeople, and this has been a practice of mine for a long time. As a salesperson, you do the work. Let your customer or your prospect say yes. Give them a very easy way to say yes. Do that. Take that extra step. Propose a time at the end of the phone call. So all you have to do is look at their calendar, say yes, or suggest another time. But you've done all this hard work so far, right? You've discovered their problem. You've presented a solution. Now you have to bring it all together, close the deal. Okay? So I hope this was useful. And in part 4, we're going to talk about the follow-up. This is where once the close happens and you just don't happen to hear from your prospect right away, or they decided not to schedule a call with you, how to continue to follow up with a lead to turn them into a customer. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll see you next time.